Hello, this is George Ellis from Coronado Beach Productions. Welcome to our podcast, and we're here today at the Little Wekiva Brewery in Longwood, Florida, and we have as one of my guests Chris Connor, who is one of the owners along with his dad, who started this brewery about a year and a half ago. And we're here, fortunate to be here to have Chris and his brewery host us for this podcast. So Chris, you've been running this brewery for about a year and a half, and you want to tell us a little bit about how all that started?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're locals to the area. Dad and I have been brewing for probably about 12, 15 years in the garage. Homebrewers is the typical story with a lot of small nano brewery people. But yeah, we were making beer and getting a little bit better at it and really enjoying it. And during COVID, actually, of all times, Dad actually said, he's like, we were in the car together, and he just kind of matter-of-factly was like, hey, we should open a brewery. And I'm like, okay. And then that really was the start of it, and we formed a corporation, and a year and a half of licensing and build out and everything, and then we opened in October 2022 and been going on ever since. So yeah.
And I've got to say, this is an extraordinary story, because you guys have been in the IT world in the past.
Yeah, both of us. Yeah.
And your hobby was brewing beer, and now it's become something of a career, new career. And I think that a lot of people think about doing something, or sort of about a transformation into doing something different, and you've actually done it. And I've got to tell our audience that I've been here many times. I've celebrated my birthdays here, and the beer here is outstanding. There's a wide variety of the different kinds of beers, and I've got to hand it to you for continuing to do this. And you've got quite a following now, am I right?
Well, we'd like to think we've at least taking a foothold into the neighborhood and starting to expand into Central Florida. We go to festivals more now, and we get people come up and they're like, oh, I've been to your brewery, I love your brewery, and this beer, that beer, the other. So yeah, I think we're starting to slowly get the name out there. So we're no longer the speakeasy that we started out as.
And when you talk about nano brewery, and I'm not really 100% familiar with nano, micro, and those things, is there a sort of a definition?
I mean, it's kind of a nomenclature thing, but like, so a microbrewery would be anything that's not one of the big guys, an InBev, or a Miller Coors or a Budweiser, that sort of thing. Most of your regional breweries would be considered microbreweries, but nano brewery would be a little extra small. That would be, I don't know if there's a number, there might be maybe 15 barrels or less, but we are most certainly a nano brewery. We're 2 barrels, so that means we make about 60 gallons of beer per batch. So once you drink a couple kegs of that, it's gone. So, and we are a brew pub. We don't distribute, so you can't get us in grocery stores or at other restaurants or at other breweries. You can only get the beer here. So,
right. And I think that's great, because you have to come here. For those of you who are in the area, it's certainly a wonderful location. There's outdoor seating and indoor seating, and you can have your beer and just relax. There are several restaurants that you can go purchase some food and eat it here. And the other thing about Chris is that you're also a surfer.
Okay.
And you're a worldwide surfer. I've heard the Ireland stories and the Costa Rica stories and those things.
Right.
And as we've talked about before, Coronado Beach Productions did a surf movie last year at New Smyrna Beach, and I think you saw that movie?
I did. It
Yeah.
was awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was pretty cool to see a little documentary done at the small little sleepy surf town, New Smyrna. So yeah.
Which is the shark bite capital of the world.
Yeah, I believe it still holds that title. Yeah.
And I remember when after you watched it, you said to me, totally unrehearsed, there's a guy in your movie that I've seen over there at New Smyrna.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. His name is escaping me right now, but yeah, I told him when I first watched the video, I'm like, I see that guy before. So yeah, a little bit younger than me, but yeah, it was cool to see a local's face there that I recognized.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, that's great. I appreciate you taking a few minutes from your busy day to talk with us, and we'll probably make that surf movie a topic of one of our future podcasts. But do you have anything else you wanted to say about the brewery, or?
I mean, just that, yeah, we appreciate everyone, all the locals, including yourself, that come out and frequent us pretty often, and the good positive feedback. And yeah, if you're in the area and you want to come check us out, we're right here in the Springs Plaza. And we don't plan to go anywhere anytime soon. So yeah.
That's great. And they have a Facebook, and there's a nice map consistently there of where the location is, because it's inside a courtyard. So it's in the Longwood, Florida, and Seminole County area. And look forward to seeing you here. And thank you, Chris, for taking the time.
Thanks, George. I appreciate it.
All right.